So, I was asked about packaging pens to be shipped. What I will relate is what I've learned actually from Sean Newton a while ago. It's what I've used this whole time when possible. And this summer I asked around. Basically, nobody's come up with a better option since then. So this is what I personally use. This is what I recommend. PVC pipe, you just cut it down. Now I understand not everyone has access to the tools. This is just an option. You could bypass the PVC. Like I said, it's just a very cost-effective way to go about it if you have the tools. The main trick is you've got your box, but to use Schedule 40 1-inch PVC pipe. This is not the most environmentally friendly option, but it lasts a long time and you could drive a car over this thing. So if your box gets crushed, at least your pens will be safe. These are reusable because they're not easily, decomposed, and you can't put it in the compost pile or anything like that. I encourage anytime you receive one of these from anybody to go ahead and try to reuse it. Just toss it in the shelf where you keep all your boxes for your pens. And anytime you go to send one off for work, service, or if you're selling a used one, you have this as an option. A lot of times I see people, they'll send me stuff and they'll put it in the original packaging and mail it that way. The problem is that forces you to use a larger shipping box, which means you're having to pay more money than is actually necessary, because that other box is not, those retail packaging, they're not exactly going to be as robust as this. So it's really an unnecessary cost on your part. You could get, this 1-inch Schedule 40, gosh, it's like whatever, $3 or $4, and you could get 8 feet of it or something like that. I don't even remember. I buy them. I cut them down to size with this. You could use a pipe cutter. You don't need to actually get a pipe cutter. I only have this particular one because I do a lot of this, but you could use a hacksaw, you could use a chop saw. You got a lot of options for that. But that ends up being the most cost-effective and durable way of doing this. So, how do you actually do it? What I like to do is use plain tissue paper, stuff you've seen so many times before. Go ahead, we'll rev up 2 of these. And I generically call it like a burrito. You want to get it kind of tight. I'll roll up most of it, get to about this point here, and then I'll fold it in on itself. That's going to make it substantially thicker, which is going to help it stay inside the pipe without slipping out during shipping. If you want to be cute about it, I guess you could do that. If you're concerned that somebody might kind of fumble it when they're taking it out, you could also do a little extra courtesy. Put some washi tape on it, or painter's tape, or masking tape. And that is usually enough where it holds it. So now you have a nice, durable, way more durable than any manufacturer's retail. What we're gonna end up doing is filling the other one and taping the ends. And then we're gonna tape the pipes together, right? So another here. Such pretty ebonite, sorry. Years of playing classical guitar, I tend to say ebony, even though one's a wood and one's a rubber. Not at all the same material. Slide that over. Do the burrito wrap. Get a little washi. You don't have to be fancy about it. I just figure for some people it's more fun to have fun little things like this Esterbrook washi tape. Thank you again, Carrie at Fountain Pen Day, for sending that to me. And like I said, it doesn't pop out, right? But we're gonna be extra cautious about it. I like using this blue painter's tape. It's more durable than masking tape. And my pipes, I've gone ahead and cut them down to the exact size for these boxes. I also tend to use the United States Priority Mail flat rate boxes. These end up most of the time being the most cost-effective way to ship something to me, or to ship a pen, you know, around you, especially if you're using pipes like this instead of trying to ship the whole box. I've seen people, they'll take their Amazon boxes and stuff like that, and the price is on the thing, and I could see that they could have saved money just shipping it this way instead of trying to find a box to fit whatever they have. Just heads up there, you know, especially if you're shipping something to me from California, you know, further away, since I'm in the DC area. Go ahead and tape the ends up. I find this to be even more necessary if you're doing these boxes. If you do ship one of these flat rate boxes, go ahead and put some extra tape on there. You could even put some extra tape on these corners right, or these edges right here, but definitely 100% put it here, because that adhesive that's on here is not the strongest, and if you don't have enough material in there, you don't get a good grip on it. I have seen all sorts of boxes, regardless USPS, regardless UPS, regardless FedEx, DHL. I've seen somehow they end up getting smashed. So that is why I am a huge fan of this. Doesn't mean yours will. I've received plenty of boxes, of those flat rate boxes that arrive just totally fine. But that's one of those things that once the unfortunate thing happens, you can't undo it. You can't go back and say, hold on, wait a second. You know, that moment is now gone. So, an ounce of precaution, or an ounce of prevention, right? Isn't that the saying? So, this past year, I went ahead and started asking around and seeing if anyone had a better alternative. And, you know, I asked in an open way. Nobody's come up with a better way yet that I know of. Every time I asked, it ended up always coming back down to this good old PVC trick. All right. That in and of itself should be good enough. You just shove it in there. What I recommend is to wrap it with, I just go ahead and I reprint the shipping label, and then I like to wrap it. So in the event that the box gets damaged, you've got the address. This could technically continue on to the final destination. In respect to privacy, of course, I've covered the tracking number and the owner's shipping address. Now, seeing as how I'm offering a service, if you were sending something to as a gift or something, maybe you don't want to send it in just a PVC pipes, well, I could understand that. You could go ahead and wrap this too, right? Gonna go ahead and throw in some tchotchkes in here. Now, because I've done this, it's gonna make it a much tighter fit in here. When I do this and I stick it in one of these flat rate boxes, you know, everything's nice. Here, things are gonna be extra tight when I go and I do this. So I'm gonna be a little bit more mindful about how much I got hanging off the edge here. So you could do that, right? But like I said, I think it's smart to go ahead, do this one little extra move here. Let's take some packing tape around there. I put a little bit right here to hold my spot, and I don't have to go fussing with it all the time. Alright, so we got it like that. Of course, y'all know what a box looks like. Now that doesn't wiggle loose. Just close it up, seal it up, put the shipping label on the outside, and send her out. And now you have a, I guess you could call it bomb-proof. Okay. Now that we have this in here, it's in there solid, right? So this is the method I've basically been using for years. I recommend it. I think it works out pretty well. Tape her up. Packing tape. Shipping label. And of course, the most important part, right? Custom stamps. On a Reiner at the well-appointed desk. You could order a lot of fun stamps from her. Just to make it a little bit more your own, right? Why not? Bingo. All right, and that's it. This will go out into the mail drop tonight, and before long, this owner will have his pens back. All right, y'all have a good night.